Hi everyone, and welcome to Leaf Rants. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because we're not talking about a game that the Toronto Maple Leafs have played because they got eliminated by the Florida Panthers, who went on to win the Stanley Cup. And today we're going to be talking about what the Toronto Maple Leafs should do with free agency opening up in about a week and a half. And so Brad Treliving made a lot of statements about DNA having to change. What better way to do that than to get Brad Marchand, am I right? And lose Mitch Marner for absolutely nothing. Ugh. But anyways, we'll talk about these things. I want to start with the Mitch Marner conversation. Mitch Marner. I love Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner is one of my favorite players. I have his jersey right here. I have a game-used Marner stick sitting on the front of this desk. It's game-used signed Marner stick. It sucks to lose him. It does. I understand it. Mitch Marner is not a guy that I'd want. He's a guy that I would love to re-sign, but not for the money he makes because it clearly doesn't work in this group, right? Mitch Marner's going to go make $13 million or whatever he wants, and I don't blame him a single bit, okay? The thing, a lot of Leafs fans are hating on him and like, get rid of him, but do you understand what you're losing? You're losing a guy that plays on your first line. He is a key penalty killer, a key part of your power play. He plays in every single situation you've ever wanted a person to play. Mitch Marner is a hell of a player, and he deserves that $13 million contract. Just not from the Leafs. Time after time again, the same thing has happened every year where the Leafs get knocked out in the first round or the second round. Nothing seems to change. And it seems to be that the team is built up of just these core players. And if they don't get it done, yeah, you're winning. If all four of them are going, which never happens in the playoffs, almost never, you're going to win. If three of them are going, which still doesn't usually happen in the playoffs, you're most likely going to win that game. If two of them are going, you have a chance. But if just one of them or none of them are going, there's nothing you can do. And it's not like I'm saying, oh, if two of them are going, the Leafs are going to be crazy good if you have a Matthews and Nylander duo. But, like, you can score some goals, right? Like, that's what they do. William Nylander's guy has shown up time and time again, and he makes 11.5 now. Like, that's a lot for William Nylander, let's be honest. He doesn't really play the penalty kill. It's a lot for a winger. They have Matthews making 13.25. They had Tavares making 11. And then they had Marner making 11 or 10.9 and Nylander making 11.5. Who the hell builds their team from the wing? Especially the right wing. Like, who? Tell me an NHL franchise and tell me who else does that. No one. No winners, at least. You build your team from down the middle. Now, that's why I'm okay with Mitch Marner going. Not because I think Mitch Marner is a bad player. Not because I don't think the Toronto Maple Leafs definitely need him. Because it doesn't work. So what would I do as GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs? Who are my top UFA targets? My top UFA target is Brad Marchand. And I've seen the rumors out there of Brad Marchand making $8 million a year for 8 billion years to come. And no, I would not sign that contract. I wouldn't. I'd give him a $24 million contract. He's 37 years old. That can be 3 times 6. That can 4 times 6, 4 times 6 can be 3 times 8 if you really want. But if it's 3 times 8, then you need to sign Matthew Knies to a smaller deal. And if it's 6 times 4, that opens up a bit more space for Matthew Knies' contract, I think. Also, if you give 8, I think that means Yarncroke has to go. I think Kampf is gone. I think Robertson should be gone. But I'd like on to Calle Yarncroke. I know he doesn't score playoffs, but neither does any of this team, so does it really matter at all? And then my second UFA target would be Sam Bennett. Although I don't know if Sam Bennett would come to Toronto. I'd give him $8 million. But yet again, I don't know if he would. So he's on there. Marchand for sure I'd bring for that $6 to $8 million range. But the term can't be that, especially if it's 8. Another guy is the Leafs desperately need a second-line center, which is why I'd bring in Granlund from the UFA market. $5 to $5.5 million contract. Don't really care about the term that much. But yeah, put him on that second line, play him between Marchand and Nylander, and there you go. It's barbecue chicken from there. Also, Riley Smith is a guy that I got anything under $4.5 million for him. That might even be a lot. But yeah, I think he'd fit in. The guy is Brandon Tanev. I'd like to bring him in for $2 million. 1.5 would be the sweet spot. He gets to come in with his brother. He can rack up some fourth line minutes, play on the penalty kill. There you go. That's what you need. And Anthony Beauvillier is another guy that I would look at. $10 million. Not 10. 10. Yes. $2 million. That's about the contract that I'd be looking at him. And yeah, like he's not one of my top 5, but I'd definitely give it a look. And yeah. Also, I just want to state the Toronto Maple Leafs do not listen to me, and they should not listen to me because I am just a high school student making videos in his basement, and I don't know as much about hockey as Brad Treliving does, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason that Brad Treliving is the GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I am not. This is just my opinion. This is what I would do as the Toronto Maple Leafs GM. There's a reason I'm not. Who would I re-sign? Matthew Nyes, you're coming back 7.5 times 8. But if he does want to sign an 8-year deal, then max I'd give him is, if he doesn't sign an 8-year deal, let's say he's signing like a 5-year deal, give him 6.5 max. But I'd love to see that 7.5 or 7.5 times 8. Oh, so you have your first line of Nyes, Matthews, blank. He's at least got a lot of holes, right? I'd probably put Domi there. I wouldn't put Nylander there because I don't think stacking up your top 3 players on your first line is really the strat. I'd like to spread them out a little bit. I've seen rumors of Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane is a guy from the UFA market that I would go for if you trade Max Domi. That's the only thing. I don't think having both of them makes sense at all. I think Kane could get around $4 million. Domi makes 3.75. So yeah, if you're gonna go for Patrick, you put him on that first line right wing, and you got to get rid of Max Domi. I think that's the only way to do it. I'd also re-sign John Tavares. Now everyone's out here going, John Tavares is gonna make less than $5 million. No, he's not. No, he's not. Have you guys seen the Nelson contract? 3 Duchesne making 4 times 4.5. The Duchesne contract is one that I'll look at a bit more for John Tavares. But I mean, he's let's be honest here. If he's gonna make 6.5, he's gonna be on a 3 or 4 year deal. He's gonna make $6.5 million, and that's just how it's gonna go. No, they're not gonna sign him to this 8-year and just LTIR him, because that's not how that works. I know we said that with the Tanev contract because he's getting up there. A lot of people are saying that with Brad Marchand. Oh, give him 8 times 8. Who cares? Just put him on LTIR. A player has to be injured for you to do that. I don't know if you guys realize that. I know some teams get away with it, but if you're planning to put these guys on LTIR for half of that contract, that's just not going to work unless they're injured. And I don't see how that makes any sense. Another guy I'd look at bringing Steven Lorentz. Anything under $1.35 million a term. I love to Lorentz. Million would probably be nice for him, but yeah. Then Holmberg, like anything under $1 million, really. I really liked Holmberg playoffs. He wasn't out there for a single five goal against for the longest time, and I mean, yeah, he got absolutely demolished by some hits out there, and he just got up. So yeah, I'd bring back Pontus Holmberg, and Max Pacioretty. There's rumors that he's to stay here. Why not? Just another depth piece. I would love that. And then trade targets. Now, the problem with the Leafs is they have David Kampf, Calle Jarnkrok, Nick Robertson, who they don't really need. David Kampf makes $2.5 million or 2.4. Calle Jarnkrok makes 2.1. And Nick Robertson just has literally no spot on this team because I'm bringing Easton Cowan up. There's just no point. I think you keep Robertson around and see how Cowan's training season goes. Training, all of that is. And if Cowan earns that spot, then I think you get rid of Robertson. Who for? My top trade picks or William Karlsson. I would love to get William Karlsson from Vegas, but I don't think we'd get him from Vegas unless Marner signs there. Same with Ivan Barbashev. I'd love to go and acquire him, but I just don't know if that's possible. Mason Marchment was a top guy I was looking at, and then he just got traded for absolutely nothing to Seattle. Leafs definitely could have matched that. But yeah, they didn't. Ivan Barbashev, 23 goals, 28 assists, 51 points. William Karlsson, 29 points. I think Karlsson was injured for a lot of the season. Barbashev, 23 goals. Love to have that on the Leafs as a depth piece. And that's what we need, right? We need depth. The Florida Panthers just won the Stanley Cup with insane depth. They had a guy, I think he was a rookie. I forget his name. He had like 15 goals. Barely played in the playoffs. He had 15 goals. The Leafs would kill for someone with 15 goals. And then they don't even play him in the playoffs. 50 regular season goals, by the way. Regular season. But yeah. So anyways, I'm going to put it up right. This is what my roster would look. Nyes, Domi, Marchand, Karlsson, obviously, if Marner goes to Vegas. Nylander. I'm bringing up Cowan. I think Cowan is ready. I'm going to play him beside John Tavares and Calle Jarnkrok because I'm keeping him because Marchand's only making 6 in my hypothetical world. Then McMahon, Lawton, Tanev. Love that. Well, Lawton in the playoffs was amazing for us. Now a first, and Grebenkin is a lot for him considering Florida got Marchand for a second-round pick that turned into a first, but I doubt they care about that. And then Pacioretty and Holmberg. I'm keeping the decor the same. McCabe, Tanev, Riley, Carlos, Benoit, Ekman Larson, and Myers as the extra. Stollards and Wall. And this team has a projected cap hit of $95,389,499 with $110,000, $110,501 in cap space. Now, yet again, Marchand could easily make 8. Really hope the Leafs don't do that. Which case, I just got to go. And I don't know. I guess you put Pontus Holmberg up there. I don't know. Also, Brad Marchand on your second line. He was on Florida's third line. He's 37 years old. So, yeah, I don't really know how that's going to go. But I'd love for Matthew Nyes to learn from Brad Marchand. That would be insane. Why not? I mean, you need a DNA change. What DNA change do you get from Brad Marchand? Now, obviously, that's bringing in 3 new guys on your forward group. I know a lot of people would probably like to see more, but I don't see how many you can. Another guy I'd look for as a trade target, which I don't see why they'd ever trade him, is Jared McCann. We'd love to get him on the Leafs, but I don't see that really happening. Apparently, there's some drama in Buffalo. Apparently, it's a quarter of the Sabres roster unhappy direction of the team. So Owen Power, Alex Tuch, Samuelson, and other core players can enter the trade market. I would definitely be there and taking a look at Alex Tuch. Yet again, I don't know. You don't have any draft picks to offer, right? But look at it. And so the reason I think Marner will go to Vegas or Carolina, those are my 2 for him, or Florida, actually, those 3. Those 3 would be insane. But I think Vegas is number 1. Last summer, there would have been Marner, and Vegas was one of them. Didn't happen, but Vegas believed he would have waived at the time for them. So Marner would have waived to go to Vegas. But, yeah. And also, when there's a big-name player that wants to make a lot of money, you can never count Vegas out of that situation. That is what Vegas does. So, yeah. But anyways, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked, click like. If you didn't like it, then let me know down in the comments what you would have done differently. Let me know what you think of these contracts. Is this realistic? Is this absolutely insane? Is this team missing the playoffs? Who knows? Who knows? All I know is this is what I would do. And Brad will have a busy offseason in front of you. Now, the reason to make this video is strictly because I thought the Nyes deal would be done by now, and I thought the Tavares deal would be done by now, or we'd at least have numbers for it. And all we know is that John Tavares is not signing for $5 million, and the Nyes deal is not signed yet, which is a little bit concerning. So the Leafs have a lot of holes. As of right now, all they have is a first-line center. They don't have a second-line center. They have a third-line center in Lawton. They have Mac Yarncroke, McMahon. But, like, they have their first-line left wing, which will be signed by Knives. Second-line center. Third-line center. Like, they have a lot of holes right now. But this is what I would do to fill them. And I'm very excited to see what Brad would do, considering he honestly had a very good season last year. Getting Carlo was underrated. Lawton, everyone wanted Lawton. Every Leafs fan wanted Lawton. It's not Brad's fault that he didn't turn out as great as we expected. But also, are you expecting Scott Lawton to be a 69-goal scorer? Oh, wait, no. That is Matthews, who should not be injured this season. Anyways, I need to wrap this video up. Keeping goaltending and defense the same, by the way. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please click like. If you didn't, let me know what you do differently down in the comments. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon. July 1st. Get busy, Brad.